My review of the Megadeth album, So Far So Good So What. It was released in 1988 and produced by Paul Lanny and Dave Mustaine. So this is an album that I got probably like 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember like specifically when I got it. I ordered it off Amazon, and I just kind of find that when I do that with albums, I don't really like remember when I get them. But at some point, I decided I'm going to go through and get all the Megadeth albums I don't have, and this was one of the first albums I ordered when I started doing that. It's kind of a weird album. This is a new lineup. They have Chuck Baylor replacing Gar Samuelson on drums and Jeff Young replacing Chris Poland on guitar. And this is the only album that those guys are on. So it's kind of a weird album in that sense. You have like this one-off lineup. It's also kind of a short album with only 8 songs. And it seems to me like this is still kind of in that like early period of Megadeth style of songs and music, which kind of like I talked about on the last album, like the way the songs are written and structured and stuff, to me doesn't make them like their most memorable. That said, I do like enjoy them, and it's really like the instrumental stuff that kind of sticks out to me on the songs more than like the lyrical content or any of the vocal melodies or anything. So the album opens with "Into the Lungs of Hell." It's an instrumental, and I think it's cool, but I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's kind of I don't know, metal like instrumentals. I was just like, I don't know what to say about them. I like the guitar on it. I like all the playing, so I think it's a pretty good opener. Second track, "Set the World Afire." This I guess is about like nuclear holocaust in 1999, so he was a little bit off with that prediction, but I like this one a lot. I think it might be either my favorite or second favorite track on the album. Dave's vocal sounds cool. I think it's got some kind of like effect on it or something in the beginning because it sounds kind of like distorted and stuff. Dave takes most of the solos on it with Jeff Young just kind of doing one at the end, but I like all the solos. I think it's just a pretty cool song, and I enjoy that one a lot. The third track is "Anarchy in the UK," Sex Pistols cover, and this is the song that I kind of always think about when I think of this album. Just I don't know why, it just kind of like stands out. I think it's because it's like a catchy song. I don't like this version as much as the Sex Pistols version, but I do enjoy it. Dave gets a lot of the lyrics kind of wrong, which is like understandable because he didn't have the internet then, and it is hard to say or hear what he's saying. I'm not even sure what like some of the real lyrics are because I've never bothered to look them up. But it's kind of cool because you got Steve Jones coming in for a little guitar solo on it, so that's neat that they got the original guitarist to come do that. But yeah, I like this cover. Not my favorite track on the album, but it is one of the more memorable ones just because it's kind of a more like typical song and less geared towards like the instrumental stuff. The fourth track, "Mary Jane," is the first track where you get David Ellefson like helping with the writing. I think he wrote some of the lyrics on this, and I think the song's about a ghost, which they seem to have a lot of songs about ghosts, which I just find to be kind of funny. And I like this one. I think it's got some cool drumming on it, cool guitar. Not a whole lot to say about it, but I like it. The fifth track, "502," is I think about Dave getting like pulled over for drunk driving or something. It's got a funny lyric in it where Dave says he's got to rip ass. So I guess the beer gave him gas. And yeah, this is kind of a weird song to me because it's got this section in it where they do this like effect where it sounds like you're kind of sitting in a car and hearing the radio and like other cars driving by and stuff. And to me, that kind of kills the momentum of the song a little bit. But that said, I do like the instrumental stuff in it. I think there's some cool guitars, some cool drums, especially like at the end. There's some cool drums, but I do think that like thing with the effect kind of messes it up. And really, like my main takeaway from the song is that weird lyric. The sixth track, "In My Darkest Hour," was the only song from this album that I kind of knew going in. Well, I knew Anarchy in the UK, and I was familiar with their version of this actually, or of it from a DVD that my brother had. But "In My Darkest Hour" I knew from the greatest hits. I've always really liked the intro to that song, like the music in the intro, and they kind of do it again in the outro, so I think those are like my favorite parts of it. But I like "In My Darkest Hour" a lot. I think it's a great track. Probably the other one that's like tied for my favorite. This one also has Ellefson contributing to the lyrics a little bit. And so yeah, that one is a really good one. Seventh track, "Liar," has musical like contributions and writing from Dave Ellefson. And this song, I believe, is about their former guitarist Chris Poland, and it's really just kind of like a string of insults with set to music, and the insults are pretty mean. And I like the music on it a lot. I think the playing school, the drumming, and the guitars I like a lot. Um, I noticed on like the lyrics as I was reading through the lyrics and listening to it, like the way Dave phrases some of the words is really weird, like as he's singing. Um, but yeah, it's a interesting track. Lyrically, especially, it's pretty crazy. So that one's cool. The eighth track, or eighth and final track, Hook and Mouth. This one I think is about like censorship, and it also has some contributions from Ellefson musically, which the bass in the intro is really cool, and just kind of throughout the song I like the bass a lot, and the way it sounds. And this one I like. I think it's a strong closer, and the main thing that stands out to me is instrumentally. It just sounds really cool. So yeah, Megadeth, So Far So Good So What. I like this album. It doesn't like stand out the most to me. I think that like the early period Megadeth is kind of more about like the instrumental stuff than writing like really catchy songs. So like every time I listen to their albums, or these early albums, there's like a few songs that stand out here and there, and then the rest of it's kind of like the instrumental stuff that stands out. And I think the next album is when they kind of start transitioning out of that. So this is kind of, I think, like the last early period Megadeth album, in a sense of like the musical direction and stuff. Um, so yeah, I think it's a good album, kind of a weird, like short transitional album and lineup. But definitely a good album, and I recommend it if you like Megadeth. I probably wouldn't start here just because I don't think it really has any, like other than In My Darkest Hour, I don't think there's any like really standout tracks on it. But everything else is just really solid, so definitely a good album.